So there's something I'm very curious about, and I'm still wondering why it is. Donald J. Trump still has an affiliation with the WWE, and my question is why? You see, I know we live in a PC world where every little thing offends somebody and pisses somebody off, and honestly, some of the PC movement is just kind of crap. But at the same time, Donald J. Trump has pissed off over 10 groups, 10 different groups of people since he started running for president. Hulk Hogan, by comparison, went on a racial tirade against one group, and he was condemned by the WWE. He was taken out of the Hall of Fame. He was pulled from his contract. Everything that happened basically made Hulk Hogan a martyr. And I know a lot of people were really pissed off at first that WWE would go to that steps, but they're a publicly traded company, and they kind of have to separate themselves from those kind of controversies and scandals. But a guy like Donald Trump, who they have had a very good relationship with, who was at one time an owner of the company, who had an invasion storyline, who's in the WWE Hall of Fame, how the hell has he not been condemned yet by the WWE? This is a man that has gone out there and offended the disabled. I mean, mocking a reporter with a disability at an event and getting a reaction from his stupid followers. And I'm sorry, if you follow Donald Trump, who mocks disabled people, who basically shuns whole ethnic groups of people, I don't get it. I really don't. I don't understand it. You have a guy like Hulk Hogan, who has been in the business 30 years, who kind of made the wrestling business what it is today. And I get that. And I see this in everyday life, and especially on my Facebook feed with my friends and family, or not friends and family, or not family, so to speak, but more friends that are on my timeline that basically support the things that Donald Trump has said. Just, it blows my mind. So Hulk Hogan goes on a tirade against black people, which was so offensive, and just, I don't get that closed-minded thinking. I really don't. You get one life on earth, make the most of it. Why hold grudges against people? Why? I just don't understand it. But they cut ties with Hulk Hogan preemptively, before the tape even came out. You had a guy like Jimmy Superfly Snuka that, years and years and years ago, he is now being tried for murder, and they cut all ties with him. If you try to search their website, he's gone. Hulk Hogan's gone. You have a guy like Donald Trump, who has pissed off so many people, who have said Mexicans are basically rapists, and they come over and steal our jobs, and we need to build a wall to keep them out. WWE's got a huge fan base in Mexico. Donald Trump now went out and said all Muslims should be barred from entering the country. So I'm just sitting here kind of befuddled as why the hell the WWE has not said something or condoned him. If you go to WWE.com and you search Donald Trump, his Hall of Fame comes up, his profile, among many other things. WWE, for being a publicly traded company, kind of has its priorities ass backwards. Not only can they not write a good storyline, scripts, or kind of plan things out, they're very pick and choosy about what they think is offensive and what they react to. Now, like I said, it's a very PC world where one little thing goes and offends somebody, or a tweet offends somebody, and people just take it too far. But in a world where people like Jimmy Superfly Snuka and Hulk Hogan, the fact that they can basically just get erased from history, really goes to signify what WWE's priorities are. Now, I'm not going to sit here and, act all super offended because Donald Trump hasn't gone after me personally. But I think those people who have been affected by what Donald Trump has said, and the stuff that he says blows my mind, and just seeing the amount of people that support him, and, when he first started running, I was like, okay, a guy that's honest, his tax policy, like, Donald Trump, you went bankrupt, how are you going to, I went bankrupt because it saved my companies, and I basically didn't lose money because of it. I gamed the tax system. And then he said, damn right, I make donations to politicians because he basically controlled them. Basically self-financing his own campaign and still, getting people to support him. That kind of stuff was cool. And then he started offending everybody. He started going after the Mexicans, the Asian, the reporters, the disabled people. And I'm just sitting here honestly going, how the fuck does he still have any ties to WWE? This is kind of a call to the WWE that I hope you do something, because I love Hulk Hogan and I grew up watching him, and I get that him saying the stuff he did offended people, and rightly so, even if it's for a short period of time, for a year to 3 years, so he can try to make, he can try to make reparations or do something to kind of fix the situation or what he did or said. How has WWE not said, okay, Donald, no, we're not going to support that? When Linda McMahon was running for public office, WWE refrained from firing people because her jobs plan. And then once she lost that election, WWE released a bunch of talents. So WWE is a very hypocritical company, and I love the WWE, don't get me wrong. But my question is to you, WWE, why haven't you done something? Why do you continue to let Donald Trump, and I get it's just for show. John Cena today publicly commented about Donald Trump, and he says he doesn't know how it would work when Donald Trump said he'd like to ban all Muslims. But then at the same time, basically said, yeah, it's brash, and Donald Trump is just being Donald Trump. How the fuck does that make it okay? Donald Trump is just being Donald Trump. Now, I'm not just trying to get upset for the sake of getting upset. This really befuddles me, especially with WWE's way of thinking in the past. So I want to know your guys' thoughts. Maybe I'm just overreacting. Maybe this is like the inner part of me that hates the PC police coming out and kind of being the PC police. But I'd really like to know your thoughts on this. Do you think Hulk Hogan being removed from the WWE should apply to Donald Trump for the amount of people he's offended? And is it fair for John Cena just to say it's just Donald Trump being Donald Trump? Because I don't think that's an excuse anymore. I think when you constantly keep offending a new group of people and pissing off a huge majority of your base, especially pandering to them just because of the tragedy America is going through right now, because of shootings or because of everything that's happened, trying to capitalize on that and get votes and go after the people that think the way Donald Trump thinks but has kind of been outlawed for the last 20 years and people aren't willing to speak their mind because it's such a bigoted way of thinking. I would really like to know what you guys think and what your opinions are on this and if WWE should do something. Because if you're going to kick out Hulk Hogan, I think you got to do something about Donald Trump. Now, I may be blowing this out of proportion because he's running for president, and I want to believe that Donald Trump is a good guy and he's just doing this all for political show, but at a certain point, when you start to mock a disabled person, something in me just loses it, and this is somebody that can't help it. This is something that they have to go through. And, you know, it's one thing about, like, the whole dear fat people thing, because I've been a fat person all my life who said I couldn't do this because I had this wrong. And then I kind of just retaught myself and started doing stuff, and I loved exercising. Or not necessarily exercising, but just being more active and doing stuff. So what I thought I couldn't help, I actually could. And it was just, it took a way to think. But how in the hell do you justify what Donald Trump has done? Honestly. So let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. I'd really love to hear it. This isn't trying to stir up something and make something out of something that's not. I truly believe that WWE should at least make a statement on this. That they don't reflect his views, and if they do, I don't know how I support the WWE in the first place then. If you kind of agree with me, feel free to share the video and let somebody know and just kind of figure out what the fuck is going on, and I think something should be done.